Grace and peace, fam. It's your girl here, Thais Sherelle. How are you? I'm telling you, I'm enjoying a quiet morning, and I really needed that. It's been a while since I kind of sat out here and just spoke to you. And yesterday, I was talking to one of my girlfriends from New York, and I was sharing with her some things that have really just been heavy on my heart. And, I thought about it, I pondered on it, I prayed about it, I researched on it, I went to bed. And this morning, I need to share. I've probably shared various aspects of it before, but parents need to be parents. I am so just baffled by what is going on in society today. And I wrote this morning in my book, we're trying to raise children on a foundation made out of Jello. Do you know what Jello does? Like, watch it jiggle, see it with, yeah, that's gelatin. You cannot build a foundation for a society. You cannot build a foundation for your life. You cannot raise your children on a foundation that's made out of Jello. Down the road from where I live, they are building two new houses, and I go by there when I'm driving, and I'm watching with such care and such precision that they are laying the foundation. I mean, everything is meticulously laid out. And then once they put the wood in and everything, then they have to put the concrete. If you know something about materials, concrete does not budge. The only way it budges, if you take, like, you have to get this drill and go down it, and when you do that, it doesn't budge, you destroy it, it cracks, it falls apart. Well, that's kind of what I see happening in society today, especially in America. Yeah. So I was looking at this and I was just jotting down notes, and I'm like, wow, we are really failing our children because why? People are trying to be friends with their children and not parents. Well, I looked in the dictionary and I started researching, what does it mean to be a parent? Well, it talked about raising the children, bringing them up. But there was a key word that I need to share with you. It was taking responsibility for their lives. Okay, so if you were at a job, you wouldn't just let things go, okay, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. No, you wouldn't do that. You would have to make sure things were done or you wouldn't get paid. Well, why is it that today people don't want to be parents? They want to be friends. And a friend is what I found is a friend is a playmate, someone that you can just hang out with, a confidant maybe. And they're there just to kind of go along with you. Well, a parent doesn't just go along with you. A parent's role is to take responsibility. A parent's role is to lay a solid foundation upon which the child can grow off of and excel. So I was thinking about, and I was scrolling through the internet yesterday, looking at different news headlines, and I was really disturbed seeing how many people were allowing their children to do whatever they want to do. And I'm talking about children as young as 2 years old. Mom, I don't feel like I want to be a boy or girl today. I want to be a toad. You're going to let your child just go out and be a toad and go and get everything, the things made to be a toad? I don't think so. So I don't understand when a child 2 or 4 or anything like that is saying something that you will just react on it. You have to take responsibility for your child. You have to hear what they're saying and hear what they're not saying, and then you've got to walk them through a process. You have to teach them. You have to walk them through a process. You cannot let the media dictate how to raise your child. Now, I was blessed to have my children go to private school, in their earlier years. And that was really a blessing because public schools, a lot of them are just, I mean, it's all about the money and whatever. So they're dictated what they're doing by what people are doing in government, and everyone in government is not wrong. But you do have a lot of people out there that are living lives that are doing whatever. And so they're going to support anything that's going to line their pockets. So if there are people out there that are going to give them money, they're going to support your cause. Well, so I was researching, and according to the University of Rochester, it says, understand the teen brain. The rational part of a teen's brain isn't fully developed and won't be until the age of 25 or so. Okay. I am all about people being allowed to make decisions for their lives as an adult. When my children are under my roof, they can have thoughts and feelings and stuff, but now I need to weigh that as an adult and with the experience and the years in my life, and I have to decide when and where certain things can take place. Even now, my daughters are home. My biological daughters are home from college, and they are 20 and 22. They still come to me with things that we talk about, and we really have a deep conversation. And some things I may say, well, maybe in a couple of years, you might want to come back and consider that again, because what you're trying to do now is really based on trends and society and what you're being bombarded with. You may not feel the same way years later. Well, I can definitely say for myself, I have tattoos. Yes, I do. I have a tattoo on my arm. I have a tattoo on my leg. And I got them when I was 18 years old. And at that time, people weren't talking about that because that wasn't something that was common in my community. So I didn't have anyone guiding me and telling me about that. Well, now at the age of 47, yeah, I wish I can just take it off because I definitely don't want to be in the group of people who are just doing things whimsically. I really thought about that tattoo, years ago. And when I initially got a tattoo, it was to cover up a blemish that I didn't like. Okay. So that's another subject that we can talk about. But now when I go outside and I wear a nice sundress, I think it's so beautiful to be able to go out and just have flawless skin the way God had originally created. But I have that, it's a rose, it's nothing bad or shameful, but guess what? I prefer not to have it. So if a teen's brain is not fully developed till the age of 25 or even maybe 30, why as a parent would you allow your child to make a permanent decision about something that could be a temporary emotional situation that your child is going through? That's not wise parenting. You're being a friend. Friends say, go ahead, girl, go ahead, boy, do that. A parent must consider the long-term consequence. So even to go further, research shows that when we become an adult and our brain is fully developed, we think with the prefrontal cortex of our brain. And that is the part that works with our rationale. So we're looking at then that young people, young adults, teens, and definitely toddlers under the age of 25 and younger are not really thinking rationally. Okay, so they're making decisions based on their emotion, whatever they're being bombarded with in social media, on the news, and whoever's dictating what's going out there. Really? Come on, even reality TV is not reality. Reality TV is stage. I'm telling you what I know. I come from a background which is very diverse, and I spend quite a lot of time on stage acting, hosting, being on videos and all this kind of stuff, and it's acting. People are putting on a performance to entertain. people, to entertain, not to dictate the construction of your life. No, it's entertainment. But because our young people, that rational part of that brain is not fully developing, they're not thinking with it, they are now making permanent decisions that are scarring them. So I was looking, and then I saw someone from the urban community that says, what you grow up with shapes you. How you handle it defines you. So our young people are being shaped what they're growing up with. And unfortunately, because social media is so strong now, and if you look at most young children, if you look at even toddlers and babies, parents are so busy, they want their way, that they are quickly put in media inside the hands of these little children. And here it is, at 2 years old, they are consumed with the images that are on this social media, so that parents can then, instead of being responsible, they're going out and doing other things. Now, I do understand there are some parents that have to work. Well, we've got to come back together as a community and begin to help each other out, because society is falling. Our children are in danger. And guess what? We didn't start the fire, but guess what? We didn't stop the fire. And most of us are throwing wood and pouring fluid on it so that the fire can burn more rapidly, and it's consuming our children. It's consuming our young adults. And mind my words, if you don't watch it, you're going to have more suicides, more homicides in our present day society. It's happening. Of course, there's mental illness out there. Why is there mental illness? Because there is no solid foundation. We are allowing our young adults to be formed, our children to be formed from a foundation that is built on Jello. And so today it's one thing, tomorrow it's something else, and there's going to be a consequence. You can't build a strong life on Jello. You need a strong concrete foundation. Parents, we need to take responsibility. We need to stop trying to be children ourselves, and we need to lay it down. Yes, I raised my children, and I remember conversations with my grandfather, because I was offered so many opportunities where I could have done big mainstream shows and all of this stuff. But my girls were young, and I said to my grandfather, who was a businessman, am I doing the right thing? And I said, these opportunities may not come back. I says, but I do not want to leave my children in the hands of other people. You see what's going on now. You even hear about the claims about Whitney Houston and her brother, that a loved one, an aunt, has sexually abused them. And the mom is like, what? This couldn't be. I didn't let my children go with just anybody. No. When you leave your child with someone and you go off to do something, you may even have to go to work. You don't know what they're doing or who they are leaving your child with. So the best thing you can do is keep your child with you. My mom kept me with her a lot of times. I was not allowed as a young child to go and spend the night over other people's house. And I thank my mom for that. I was frustrated with her then. Children will thank you later. I know I thank God for my mom now. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I just want you to think about that. Parents need to be parents. And we're trying to raise children on a foundation made out of Jello, and it's not going to work. Why? It's going to jiggle. It's going to wiggle. And they're going to do things. I don't care. They want to do this and they cry and they throw tantrums. Let them do it. They're going to be okay. It's better that you say no and set a firm foundation. Now, if you're out there doing everything you're grown enough to do, it's going to be hard for you to lay a foundation. I kid you not. My girls watch me like a hawk. That's right. I live a life, and I try my best to live a life that my children can mimic. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But I try my best to live a life on a foundation that if others after me follow, that they might have a chance. This is your girl here, Thais. Share this message with someone. I love you. I love you. And as my pastor and the man of God, where our fellowship says, there's nothing you can do about it. And you can be mad with me and I'm still going to love you. That's something that my young adult daughters do sometimes. They get upset because we don't agree. Because guess what? I have a foundation and I will not go with everything society has.